Harer Nama eva kevalam. Kalo nasteva 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 gatiranyata.
दंडवत प्रणाम। सब लोग डिवोटी के लिए मेरा दंडवत प्रणाम। Thank you so much, Gopi Manohar Prabhu, for giving me chance to do a little small seva, even though I'm not qualified. And you glorified me, which I'm not worth of it. It's all by the mercy of Guru Maharaj and Srila Prabhupada and Lord Chaitanya, Lord Nityananda, by their mercy. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. So today we are going to read Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, chapter 22, the verse numbers 12 and 13. And this chapter, how Swambhuva Manu is offering his daughter Devahuti to Kardama Muni. So this chapter is named as a marriage of Kardama Muni to Devahuti. Hare Krishna. So we are going to read the verse on Sanskrit. Yeah, but before that I would like to offer my prayers to Guru Maharaj and Srila Prabhupada and to all Vaishnavas. Om Jnana Timrandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurmilitam Shri Chaitanya Vishtam Stapit Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavasya Shri Rupam Sagrajadam Sahagana Raghunatham Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadbhutam Parijana Sahitam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Shri Vishakam Jatatvakam Krishnam Bhaktarupa Surupakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktakyam Shaktikam Nityananda Mahanami Sarvananda Karampara Rinama Prabhandivana Shivamani Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Prabhavate Krishna Ya Krishna He Krishna Karuna Sinandina Bhava Jagapatava Gopisham Gopika Kanchana Gavangira Ishwari Shambhava Stutudevi Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Krishna Vita Shimade Durga Vishnu Padaya Krishna Krishna Vita Shimade Vada Please Rasata Devi Hiroham Prachira Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Panchakalpatarubhyascha Kripasindubhya Vacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namo Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram. So we read Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Text number 12, we read Sanskrit. Udyatasya hi kamasya prativadona shashyate api nirmukta sangasya kamaraktasya kim punah. Translation by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. To deny an offering that has come of itself is not commendable, even for one absolutely free from all attachment, much less one addicted to sensual pleasure. So we read text number 13. Ya udyatamanarthya kina shamabhyachate shiyate tatyashaspritham anaschavanya pataha. Translation, His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. One who rejects an offering that comes of its own accord, but later begs a boon from a miser, thus loses his widespread reputation, and his pride is humbled by the neglectful behavior of others. So this is a 2 verses. There is a very small purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada, and in the previous verse, which we just now spoke, to deny an offering that has come of itself is not commendable, even for one absolutely free from all attachments, much less one addicted to sensual pleasure. In this purport, Srila Prabhupada writes, I will read actually because it's very small. In material life, everyone is desirous of sense gratification. Therefore, a person who gets an object of sense gratification without endeavor should not refuse to accept it. Kardama Muni was not meant for sense gratification, yet he aspired to marry and prayed to the Lord for a suitable wife. This was known to Swayambhuva Manu. He indirectly convinced Kardama Muni, you desire a suitable wife like my daughter, and she is now present before you. You should not reject the fulfillment of your prayer. You should accept my daughter. So as we seen there, by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada, we will be able at least to learn from such a vast Vedic wisdom and those principles which were given by Lord Krishna himself to us through the disciplic succession and through such exalted devotees like Srila Prabhupada, and here in this case, Swayambhuva Manu. We learn so much. We learn how to live our life in perfect way. We learn how to utilize our senses in perfect way to direct our senses towards the service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Of course, it's Vedic wisdom is a great science, and we are very, very fortunate that we came to this Krishna consciousness movement, which was given by Lord Chaitanya himself. And all these principles, all this etiquette, the knowledge, which we can apply practical. It's not only it was in the previous yugas, it was not only in the Vedic time, so we can also apply these principles and this knowledge in our present time. So this is all glories to Srila Prabhupada, who so perfectly explained everything in details in all his purports in Srimad Bhagavatam and translated day and night for us to get this knowledge and perfect our life. So I will come to the point now. Swayambhuva Manu, there is very beautiful book written by Bhurijana Das, who is disciple of Srila Prabhupada, and he written book of summary of Srimad Bhagavatam. And I really recommend to devotees to read this book because it's very, very beautiful, the way how he writes and the way how he keeps everything in the proper order for our understanding in very, very simple way. So he explains that Swayambhuva Manu, he was exalted devotee. He was in his kingdom, he created such an atmosphere which was full of Krishna consciousness. And because creating of this atmosphere, being in Krishna conscious of citizens of his capital and the place where he used to reside, it was free of all miseries. So again, Srila Prabhupada actually, he giving us this knowledge for us to get free of these miseries of this material world. And the knowledge which we are getting actually making us, how to say, is more to be, profound in our lifestyle, that we can really, in some situations, difficult situations, we can be able to deal and do not be affected by those material troublesome. Due to this knowledge, due to this Vedic wisdom, we will be able to overcome difficulties in our life. And that is the purpose of our life, yeah, like Srila Prabhupada explains many times in the purport, that if we redirect our senses, and this material world is meant for the sense gratification. In fact, we came to this material world to sense gratify ourselves, to be apart from Krishna, to be free from Krishna. This is our freedom. We felt like, no, as a child who doesn't want so much of be under the care and control of the parents. They want to be independent. So in the same way, we also felt that we want to be independent, but more of this independence, we wanted to become the Lord Himself, to become enjoyers. So, but devotees' mood, when devotees, exalted devotees, their mood is always to remember about Krishna, to always remember who is Krishna, and always out of love render devotional, spontaneous devotional service to him. So Swayambhuva Manu, he was such a devotee. And of course, to take that position of the Manu is not ordinary personality, because he had to be a devotee. There's no other way that he would be on this position. And being as a son of Brahma, yeah. So he was perfectly, another point, he was perfectly following the instruction of Lord Brahma. Lord Brahma told him to beget the children qualified as you in the womb of his wife, and to give protection to all living entities, which is Swayambhuva Manu used to really follow those instructions, very deeply taken to his heart. And that's why he had success in everything. Yeah, he, above that, he was living in such an opulent, wealthy residence, but he always was Krishna conscious, and he was always following the instructions of Lord Brahma. So again, I would like to mention that if we really follow the instructions of the bona fide spiritual master, there is always will be success. There is no defeat. Yeah, there is no waste. There is always will be perfection. There is always will be how you say, it will bring us to the life of our eternal happiness. This is what we are all seeking, to be eternally happy. But how we can be eternally happy? If we are on this path of devotional life, in devotional service to Supreme Personality of Godhead, and also if we are understanding how much is the spiritual master meant to be, or how to say in English, it's how much is affecting our lives to really follow the instructions of the spiritual master. So everywhere will be only success and happiness if we will do so. So Swayambhuva Manu was such a devotee, and he, of course, he was understanding that association of Kardama Muni will give so much benefits, and of course, giving his own daughter to such exalted stardom as a Kardama Muni, So when he appeared in front of Kardama Muni, knowing that Kardama Muni had a desire to find a suitable wife, he was very in the very respectful and very humble mood, rendering all his own reverence to Kardama Muni, knowing how Kardama Muni is such a wonderful devotee of the Lord, and offering his daughter. Uh, it was um, it was privilege for the Sarvabhaum, for the Swambhuva Manu. So he came and he is asking him in a very humble way, please, here's my daughter who has such a wonderful quality. She is suitable for you. Please take her. And another verse, for the next verse, he is saying that is always good, and Srila Prabhupada mentioned the purport, it's always good when the father offers his daughter to a suitable boy. Yeah, in Vedic time it was so subtle that the suitable boy had to be found by the father. Yeah, in Vedic time. Now, of course, it's not like this. Now people are bereft of this knowledge and they're trying to approach themselves towards the father to ask the hand of the girl. But at that time, it's considered to be is not appropriate, because here's a Swambhuva Manu is saying that that you will lose your widespread reputation if it will look like your backbone from the miser. Yeah, so that's another beautiful point with Swambhuva Manu. He wants that it should be very respectful, respectable marriage. Yeah, that's why as a qualified and wonderful Vaishnava who is full of Krishna conscious, he wanted best uh, husband for her daughter, or for his daughter. And Srila Prabhupada mentioned in some purports that, of course, every father and mother, they're always concerned, they're always in anxiety to find a suitable boy for their daughter. I'll just read a little bit from this purport, 1 minute, from the same book of Purijana Dasa. The kindly happiness, 1 minute. Yeah. A father always remains in anxiety until he can hand over his grown-up daughter to a suitable boy. A father and mother's responsibility for children continues until they marry them to the suitable spouses. When the father is able to perform that duty, he is relieved of his responsibility. So, Swambhuva Manu, he approached Kardama Muni, knowing that Kardama Muni will be very suitable, very wonderful husband for devotee. And as a father, he would be relieved, because any devotee father, he will want only to have that for his daughter. It should be devotee husband. Why devotee husband? Because he will engage her in devotional service towards the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And it's very important, very important in our life. It's like, I will take my example. When I was very young, I had a desire only to get married to a devotee. I didn't have any desire to get married because of someone has money or because of someone has a position. But for me, it's very clear that I want to get married to devotee, because in my understanding is if I will get married to devotee, I will be engaged in devotional service towards Krishna, and my life will be perfect. I had understanding that all these material things, it will come by itself if we will please Krishna, if we will please Guru Maharaj, and if we will be on this devotional service. Even though I was young and immature, but by Guru Maharaj's mercy, that desire was in my heart, and Krishna fulfilled that desire. I'm very, very happy. So I will take example that I'm so fortunate that my spiritual master, he offered me to my husband. He offered me as my father. And in that case, I'm very, very fortunate. I cannot even that, when I often remember that the special mercy which Guru Maharaj showered on me to find a suitable boy for me who is really will be a wonderful husband. And Srila Prabhupada mentioned that spiritual master, he knows the qualities of his disciples. He knows how to direct them on the proper way, on devotional path. And in this case, I will tell that he wrote letter to me and he said, please discuss with the mom. And he wrote that I think this will be a good husband for you. He will be a very good husband. He will materially will be able to maintain you, and he is a very, very nice guy. So I discussed, he's listening there and he's saying, woo. So I discussed this with my mom, and mom said, yes, Guru Maharaj, since you're offering him to her, I will be agreeing to give my daughter to him, even though she didn't see him, she didn't know him, but because of words and that faith in the instruction of Guru Maharaj and the faith that Guru Maharaj wants best for my daughter, she was agreeing. And I was never regretted, because this is what I wanted. The same way Swayambhuva Manu, as a devotee, he understands what means have a husband who is a wonderful devotee for my qualified and beautiful daughter Devahuti. So Krishna conscious devotees, they have this understanding by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada, by the knowledge which he is giving and sharing in all his purpose. They have understanding, of course, that their life is meant only to progress ourselves in devotional life, to become more pure, to become a wonderful devotee of Sri Krishna. And because of this understanding, they follow this path with great faith. This great faith, following this path without any hesitations and without any, doubts. So devotees always have this understanding that whatever in my life is happening, whatever is something is given to me by Krishna, and I have to accept. I have to, because Krishna also knows this devotee wants to come to me. This devotee wants to perfect his life, and he is following this path, which is so rare. In this time, we can see, among the million people, how many devotees who really come to the Krishna consciousness movement, who really follow those principles and who chant the name of Shri Krishna. It's very, very rare, in fact, to find such devotees. That means devotees, like in Srimad Bhagavatam is mentioned, those who are chanting the name of Krishna and chanting the holy name, they already in previous life, they have done all sacrifices, opulent worship to the Lord. They gone through all tirthas. They did so much, in spiritual path, that they come to their level when they take a name of Krishna's name and they fall in the Krishna consciousness. Krishna consciousness is our original consciousness. Our consciousness is in spiritual world. It's a Krishna conscious, but due to associating with this material energy, of course, we are forgetting about this, and still we are trying to fight, day to day with our senses and with our material desires. And like here, Gurijana Prabhu, he has explained that Krishna consciousness is not so easy. It's also tough. Sometimes karma influence ourselves so badly, and to be stable in this situation is only this knowledge, Vedic knowledge, can help us. But it's not so easy. And again, I'm coming back to the Swayambhuva Manu, as Gurijana does. He is saying, being in such wealth and being opulent, he always was remembering Krishna and worshiping Lord. He was worshiping Lord, and Prabhupada, he is mentioning that in that time in the temples and some houses and the families and the palaces, they were singers, and when members of the family used to go to sleep, there is always was singing to connect members of this family to Krishna. So always was singing the glories of the pastime of Supreme Lord Shri Krishna. And with that, people, the members of the family, they used to go sleep, and with the same sound of singing, they used to wake up. So everything was around Krishna. And in previous verses, I would like to mention that Srila Prabhupada saying about grihamethas and grihasas. Grihamethas for living their life just for sense gratification. And we can see, as being practicing Krishna consciousness, we can see that most of the people are grihamethas. They would only enjoy themselves, and they have no understanding what is the purpose of life. That this life is so temporary and making material progress, but zero spiritual progress. So this is the situation of Kali Yuga. And but grihasas is like, grihasa is an ashram. Is also ashram, one of the varna and ashrams. There's Krishna in the center of all activities, and I often think that how Srila Prabhupada, he made such a perfect system. We are not even realizing that now, how we all gone into it, but it's become for us a normal lifestyle. We cannot live by another way. We can't live. If we will not wake deities up, we feel guilty. If we will not offer our bhog, if we will not offer to Krishna food, and if we will eat ourselves, we feel, no, this is not appropriate. Krishna is hungry and I'm eating myself, how selfish I am. So he made such a system that has become normal, that we all the time we are trying to remember about Krishna. How much maybe materially we are attached, but the system is so perfect to really uplift us to that devotional level of being always remembering Krishna. Even this Srimad Bhagavatam, even though I'm not qualified to speak, but whatever I speak from the books of Srila Prabhupada. Even this engagement, associating with devotees, reading Srimad Bhagavatam, it is done in such a perfect way to make us be purified in all ways, to become a good devotee, become a good disciple of our spiritual master, become a good devotee, and that Krishna will be very pleased with whatever we are doing in our activities and the way how we live our life. If we are really following this path, there is no fail. There is only good things are going to happen and happen in our life, because there is a highest purpose, there is highest understanding, that in this life, such a short lifespan, it's actually our life is really, really short. Now, when we are aging, we understand life is just one like this, like one. What do you say? I forgot this word in English, but anyway, you understood, yeah. So in Russian, we say it's like one mig. Means life passes so fast that we don't even realize. But the good thing, like here, Burijana does right, that Swayambhuva Manu, even though he got old, but his life was not wasted, because he used to utilize his life only in Krishna consciousness. Okay, so let me come back to the point of, again, to the verse. Yeah, Srila Prabhupada is mentioning that Swayambhuva Manu, he was so fortunate to have association of the Kardamani. And Srila Prabhupada explains in the purpose that even one moment associating with sadhu will make your life perfect. And we know the examples. Yeah, we know examples of Narada Muni, when Narada Muni was associating with all Mahatmas and what he became. Yeah, we know the example of Raghunath Das Thakur. I wanted to speak a little bit about Raghunath Das Thakur because soon as the Panihati Chidadahi festival, so I just wanted to speak about him. Raghunath Das Goswami, he was son of the zamindars, and like Srila Prabhupada mentioned that that time they were billionaires. Yeah, they were billionaires. So he was son of such very, very rich people. Yeah, but his father, Govardhan, and his uncle, they were also devotees. So Raghunath Das Goswami, they used to live in Saptagram, and Saptagram and in Bengal, Saptagram and many other villages, they used to be given by Sheikh, Hussein Sheikh, the ruler of that time in Bengal. He was given them this Saptagram, and he was given some more villages for them to take care of it, because Hussein Shah, he had to, he was getting a very good income from them. That time it was really, really big money. Yeah. So Raghunath Das Thakur, he was getting all Vedic knowledge from his guru, and his guru's name was Balaramacharya. Balaramacharya was very, very closely associating with Haridas Thakur, and he was getting all, all this association with Haridas Thakur, and I'll say Lord Chaitanya, and Lord Chaitanya, he was speaking about Lord Chaitanya a lot. Yeah, Haridas Thakur, and that katha about Lord Chaitanya's qualities and who is Lord Chaitanya, it was deeply, very deeply seeded into the heart, or planted, such a deep spiritual spirit into the heart of Raghunath Das Goswami. At that time he was just 15 years old boy, but his desire to meet Lord Chaitanya was growing day by day. He wanted to meet Lord Chaitanya. So just one moment of just association with the Haridas Thakur, and it made him feeling that he cannot live without Lord Chaitanya until he he wanted to meet him so badly, and he was very he was really very dreaming about that day, when that day will come when he will meet with Chaitanya. And when he heard that Lord Chaitanya was coming to Shantipur, he asked his father, please, can you allow me to go and meet? And because he was still small boy, the father had to protect him, and he said, okay, I will allow you to go to Shantipur and meet Lord Chaitanya. But of course, there is also background, some fear, because he only was descendant of their wealth and the family who would take care of their business. But Raghunath Das Thakur was completely detached from all material opulence and all material things. Like here, Kardama Muni, he was really detached of everything. Yeah. So this is the qualities of the exalted devotees. They only think in the full time, how can I please the Lord? How can I serve the Lord? How can I be always in His association? So that was dream of Raghunath Das Thakur. So when he came to Shantipur and he met Lord Chaitanya, he fell down to the feet of Lord Chaitanya, and that meeting was such an unforgettable meeting for Raghunath Das Goswami, which is made his life is more maybe I would say miserable in separation, because how many times he tried to run, all the time he used to be caught by his guards, which was instructed by his father to take care of him, and how many times he would run. But Lord Chaitanya told him, he said, your time will come when you will come to me. Don't behave like this. Live like a worldly man. Live like a worldly man. Do your duty. So after this, Raghunath Das Goswami, he took this instruction very, very deeply into his heart, and he tried to live as a worldly man, but all his thinking, all his heart always was toward the Lord Chaitanya. Of course, we cannot compare ourselves to such exalted devotees, but at least we can make our life to follow their footprints, and they are great examples for us. We know very well that they are manjaris themselves, and they are nitya siddhis, means they eternally not conditioned souls, like we are conditioned souls. We are prone to fall down into material world, but they never will fall down, even though they will come in here with one purpose, is just accompany Lord Himself and give us example. Same way I was reading about the Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami, about their qualities. So it's inspiring us. It's inspiring us how to attain these qualities of the great devotees, and how we should make our life, and how we should meditate on the lotus feet of the Lord, and how we should render ourselves. So they are great examples for us, and for this purpose they all came. Like we've seen Srila Prabhupada, we've seen the disciples of Srila Prabhupada. They are not ordinary. Of course, I'm saying now about the disciples of Srila Prabhupada. They are not ordinary people, because they came to accompany Srila Prabhupada in spreading this Krishna consciousness over the world. They put so much effort. They work, they serve day and night, without sleep, without rest, to spread this Krishna consciousness, and they follow the instruction of Srila Prabhupada. Then going to Japan, going to China, going to Russia, yeah, we know Shyama Sundar Prabhu. We know Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj. We know that initial devotees who came to Russia, and they risk so much. They risk, and they took risk to spread the Krishna consciousness in the Russia, in such, which was like forbidden country from any foreign things in coming to the country, yeah, because of the KGB. And we know how much devotees who, after Shanti Krishna Prabhu, who try to spread Krishna consciousness, how much devotees are going through, how much actually that devotion, sometimes I'm thinking, will I be able to be so strong in Krishna consciousness to go through all these tortures? And we know they used to be put into prison house, they used to be put in psychic clinics, and they used to get such injections where the person completely will become mad and insane and forget about. So the purpose of the Soviet time and the communist time was that this, to prove to everyone, to society, that these devotees are insane. Do not follow them, do not take the Krishna consciousness. But due to their nishtha, it's not just Shraddha, we know there's more advanced level, due to their nishtha, even they were not fed, they were just eating bread and salt. Yeah, they used to make japa beads through the bread, from the bread and salt, and still, under such strong injections, they used to chant the Krishna's name. So this is a proof that nothing can crush, nothing can make a big obstacle, nothing can, distract the devotee of Shri Krishna. Devotee of Shri Krishna who has a strong faith in Krishna, nothing will happen. Nothing will happen to him. Of course, we have understand that Krishna himself, will protect such devotees. So there was one case I little bit, I think I little bit gone out of the Swayambhuva Manu, but I would want to tell you this story, that there was one Mataji who used to, in Russia in the initial days, when Krishna consciousness just started growing in Russia. So they put her into prison, and there was like kind of guard lady, that prison, like how you say in English? I'm sorry that sometimes I forget. So the guard, actually their intention was to kill her. And this Mataji, she knew that is going to happen. They just want to kill her. So the whole night and whole day and all these days, she prayed to Lord Narasimha. She prayed to Lord Narasimha. And when this lady came to try to kill her, what's happened actually, it's true. The Lord Narasimha himself came to protect this Mataji. And he killed that lady who came to kill this devotee. So this is how Lord protects his devotees, Okay, so, and let me come back again to the point of Swayambhuva Manu, Swayambhuva Manu, and this moment of associating with sadhu. I just wanted to read what Srila Prabhupada is mentioning in his purport. And I'm sure you read that purport before in the text number 5 in previous verses, where Srila Prabhupada is giving his own experience meeting with his bona fide spiritual master, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. I will read a little bit. Lord Chaitanya says that one should always try to associate with saintly persons, because if one establishes a proper association with saintly person, even for a moment, one attains all perfection. Somehow or other, if one meets a saintly person and achieves his favor, then the entire mission of one's human life is fulfilled. So here Srila Prabhupada mentioned that entire mission of one's human life is fulfilled when the person meets sadhu. Yeah. In our personal experience, we have actual proof of this statement of Manu. Yeah. Once we had the opportunity to meet Vishnupada Sri Srimad Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj. And on first sight, he requested his humble self to preach his message in the Western countries. There were no preparation for this. Somehow or other, he desired. And by his grace, we are now engaged in executing his order, which has given us a transcendental occupation, has saved and liberated us from the occupation of material activities. One of the disciples of Srila Prabhupada, he was speaking about Srila Prabhupada pastimes, and Srila Prabhupada mentioned, he said, this moment for the liberation of all living entities. It's true, this moment of liberation, yeah. And we are not still realizing that, but it is fact that this moment is for us to come and be forever liberated from the bondage of this material existence. And now by experience, of course, we can see how hard this material existence, how much exams we have to go through. And of course, the last exam, I often thinking that is when I'm going to leave my body. So I have to be prepared. I have to be really be serious in this Krishna consciousness. And I have to really make my consciousness to, remember Krishna in the time of last exam. Still, there is more exams to come. And by Krishna's mercy, by Guru Maharaj mercy, we all overcome. And that's the proof of the power of this movement and power of this Lord Chaitanya's mission. Yeah, only by their mercy we will be able to overcome all the calamities. And Srila Prabhupada mentioned that the karma, of course, has effect on us, but those miseries will not affect on the Krishna conscious person. So that means we have to, sometimes the question comes, it's how to be practical, that there is so many things and how to be stable in this Krishna consciousness. But again, here's a proof Srila Prabhupada mentioned. If we will be really in Krishna consciousness, all these miseries of our karma of previous lives will not affect us. Yeah, so this is knowledge, and this experience of the previous acharyas are giving us strength. It's giving us strength to really not be affected. Of course, there's a lot of hard work need to be done on ourselves, on our qualities, on our patience and tolerance. Yeah. So then Srila Prabhupada writes, what is not possible to achieve in thousands of lives can be achieved in one moment, if there is an opportunity to meet a saintly person. It is therefore enjoyed in Vedic literature that one should always try to associate with saintly persons and try to de-associate oneself from the common man, because by one word of a saintly person, one can be liberated from material entanglement. A saintly person has the power, because of his spiritual advancement, to give immediate liberation to the conditioned soul. I think I will be maybe able to stop here. Actually, this is a very vast topic. I wanted also speak about the how it's important to have devotee husband and devotee wife. Yeah, so it's very important to progress, but it's a lot of learning and a lot of how you say, it's a lot of work on ourselves, how to make our family life is a happy and be is a grihastha ashram, not grihametha. Yeah, so I would like to speak about one thing, that it's true that when is a devotee wife, if she is a devotee wife, she really supports her husband in everything. She will make everything for her husband to grow spiritually. And actually, this is a dharma of the devotee wife. It's like I will tell about maybe myself. I tried always to support my husband in all his devotional activities, and I always try to make best arrangement for him to grow. And I can see the result. That's also affecting me so much that I will be able to grow as well. It's very subtle, it's not visible, but it's really working. It's really working when you support your husband and you are in the same track with the husband in the devotional life. Your life will be really, really happy life. Will not be such anxieties because you try to solve the problems through the Vedic understanding, through this practical, would say, solutions. Yeah, through the Vedic knowledge and through the Vedic understanding. So it's very, very important when the wife support husband, and this is why Kardama Muni also was agreed to get married to Devahuti, because Devahuti very was qualified, and of course she was from the noble family. She was not from low class family. She was devotee, and of course she was trained in that way how to serve her husband. And in the future, of course, in the next verses we will read more about that, how she used to serve Kardama Muni, such an exalted devotee, and she used to get all spiritual benefits. Yeah, and I wanted to mention that even for myself, it's very, very subtle. It seems like I used to serve and I'm still serving my husband, yeah, knowing that he is such a wonderful devotee. It really makes you feel that you're growing. It's nothing is like, no, I'm not doing my devotional life. I'm not like, but I can feel in myself that it is the Krishna consciousness is growing in me. I have at least some now understanding. I have so much learned from him. I myself, I feel like I'm spiritually growing, but it doesn't seem so. Yeah, and of course, it's for the wife is also very important to have a devotee husband, because at least he will take her to Krishna. Yeah, this is all main goal of our life. Cannot be any other goal, and there is no other way to be happy in this material life, in this material world, because all purpose, we understand everything is temporary, and my body is getting old. What is there to be happy? Yeah, so by having husband as a devotee is a big fortune. It's a really big fortune. We should not look to the position. Of course, that is lady's nature, I would say. She will look at us, he has money. It's normal, yeah, to provide, to maintain the family life. Yeah, that husband is so responsible, in his duty to maintain the wife and children. Yeah, so that was how it's stated, and And this is how Krishna arranged in that way, that husband has to become as a protection, but not only materially. Spiritually is more important, that he makes her grow also and be free from all this material bondage. Bring her to Krishna. That's very, very important, that we can all come back to Krishna, forever leave this material world, again enjoy, be witness of the Krishna's pastimes, be witness, to become a witness for, maybe sometimes I'm thinking from the far, 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 maybe very far, somewhere hiding behind the tree, I will be able to look and see the all close associates of Krishna and close gopis, where with one glance, maybe I will be able to see Radhishyam, and I will be able to be trained under their guidance to make a garments, or maybe to dance for their pleasure. But of course, only by Srila Prabhupada's mercy we have understand that we cannot directly approach Radha Krishna. Like initially when we came to Krishna consciousness, we were thinking, oh yes, me and Krishna. Actually, it's normal. And that time we didn't know, like I'm speaking about myself, not from the Indian background. I was speaking like I'm speaking about myself, because when I came to Krishna consciousness, for me, Krishna was everything. I didn't know about who is Shrimati Radharani. I didn't know that who is Gopis and Sakhis, and who is Sakhas. For me, it was Krishna, only Krishna, like this. But of course, now, through so many years of training and Srila Prabhupada's purpose, we have to understand, no, I cannot approach directly Radhashyam. I have to be das, like dasi, anudasi. And this is what is pleasing, Krishna. When we take this position to be dasi, das, anudas, that's also another perfection. That's understanding, like Raghunath Das Goswami. He understood that he cannot come to Lord Chaitanya without mercy of Lord Nityananda. And when in Panihati he met Lord Nityananda said, come here, you're a thief, come here. And he placed his lotus feet on Raghunath Das Goswami's head. So Raghunath Das Goswami was praying to Lord Nityananda. He said, please, give me your mercy. Give me your mercy. How many times I tried to run, and be free from this material bondage and attachment, these worldly affairs. But without mercy, without your mercy, I won't be able to do that. Please give me that mercy. So Srila Prabhupada, really, like in my practical, like if I'll see in my life Krishna consciousness, I have now this understanding. No, I have to worship my spiritual master. I have to, please my spiritual master. I have to be a good disciple of my spiritual master. Only by his mercy I will be able to, by the mercy of all Guru Parampara, I will be able to understand who is really Krishna, and then I will be able to have a taste of the holy name. Without this mercy, I cannot progress. Without spiritual master, I won't be able to progress, and I won't be able to have that understanding. It's a very, very important point. And Srila Prabhupada is teaching us through all his lectures, through all Srimad Bhagavatam purpose, to understand for us that we should take a position das, anudas. Then we will be able to really to join the pastimes of Shri Krishna. And Shri Krishna's pastimes are so sweet. Like I was reading there is a book written by Srila Shivaram Swami Maharaj, Krishna Sangati book. And there is another book which recently I bought from Shivaram Swami Maharaj. It's called Tava Katamritam, where he so beautifully describes the pastimes of Shri Krishna. And when Krishna goes with the Gopas to the forest, and all Prajabasis, they become all stunned, and they become like a frozen, they couldn't move. That's another ecstatic feeling of the all Brajabasis, all the gopis, elderly gopis, who was like always with one glance when the Krishna goes and with all his calves and cows, with all his friends towards the forest, they all just become stunned. And Shivara Maharaj explained that someone has to lift them like this and carry them. Yeah, so it's very meditative. When you read these things, you really start meditating, like how much love his Rajabasis has for Krishna, how much gopas there, like bumblebees all the time they want to be with him, how gopis want to be with him, and Mother Yashoda and Nanda Maharaj and all his uncles and all elderly gopis and gopas want to be with him, and all animals want to be with him, and all trees and birds want to be with him. So by listening, this is a great meditation for us. At least we have understanding. We can visualize ourselves. Yes, I have to come back there. I have to be there. What do I have to do here? Only struggle, struggle, struggle. What is there to do for me here? Is only struggle, struggle, struggle. Yeah. So on this point, I want to stop. Hare Krishna. With any questions and anyone wants to add something, please, or correct me, please go ahead. Hare Krishna.